Good morning. Welcome to Golf at the Park, the golf show from the Golf Cave at Angel Park Golf Club. My name is Jed. Thank you for tuning in. And you may notice that this episode looks and sounds a little bit different. We're still trying to work out some of the kinks. So we'll be toying with this as we go. What we do want to do really fast is let you know that we've got a promotion we're running called Nights at Night. And this is a way to win a custom Golden Knights jersey. So all you got to do is come out, use the putting course, the driving range, or play Cloud 9 at night and wear some Knights gear, hat, scarf, jersey, whatever you want, and you'll be entered in a raffle to win. And that's going to be for the next couple of months. So come out and play night golf and win a Golden Knights jersey. And on that note, let's start episode 3. I'd like to welcome our general manager, Sam Brookman, to the show. What's going on, Sam?
Hey, glad to be here. Little windy day out here, but we got some golfers coming out here to Angel Park. And we're in the cave, which might be a little bit warmer, but that's okay. They're out there getting after it, so.
Yeah, it is a little bit warmer in here, but I wouldn't say it's warm.
Yeah. Well, glad to be here. Glad this is a great idea, Jay, that you do, and I'm excited to be a part of it.
Yeah, we're really excited too. So we're talking about golf stories. We'll get into a little bit about your career in golf later, but let's just start at the beginning. How are you? Tell us how you were introduced to the game.
Yeah, mainly through my dad. He was an avid golfer, played a lot of golf. As a young man back in those days, and got me into it, and got a little set of clubs when I was young, and they were probably hand-me-downs and weighed 1,000 pounds because they didn't have the latest technology that they do nowadays. But yeah, I just kind of fell in love with the game with him, and going to watch him playing little weekend golf tournaments and things like that, and then also just getting to play with him was a big memory. So that turned into playing in junior high and mainly in high school. Anyway, that was it, and then on into college. Yeah.
Awesome. When you mentioned some of the clubs and the gear from back then, you were hitting blades, right? You learned on.
Oh yeah, they were like Patty Berg specials, I think, is what they were back.
A little bit different to play golf back then.
Exactly. Yeah. Heavy shafts and all that stuff.
Fun. So you played. Right. So you played in high school, and I know you played a little bit of college golf. Where'd you play college golf at?
Yeah, I played college golf at the illustrious university called Wharton County Junior College, the Pioneers, just southwest of Houston. Got a little golf scholarship there. Was at a bigger high school, Division V, on the first man on the team and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, played some college golf, tried to pursue that. One of the fun things was I grew up in Lubbock, Texas, which we all know is flat and windy. Maybe you don't know that. So I had a big, strong grip and had everything low. Moved to the Houston area where the wind doesn't blow as much and you have to hit it high.
So you had to change your shot.
Yeah, so I had to go through some transformation there, which was fun and, part of the developing your game. So that was a fun part for me. Yep.
Fun.
Yep.
So after college now, do you get into the game right away?
Yeah, so when I went to college, finished up at the University of Texas there in Austin, and big Longhorn fan, and was going to be a banker because I started working in the golf industry at golf courses, and I saw the bankers just, they get off at 3 o'clock and go play golf every day. That's what I want to do.
So you get out of the game at that point.
Yeah, so I played a little, and I got my degree in finance and accounting, and mainly towards banking. And that was in 1987 when all the savings and loan banks went away because of the crisis. So I didn't have a job. So I turned back to what I had been doing all through college and high school, was getting back in the golf business. So I took on a career in the golf business.
Fun. So what we're going to focus on, I think, then is your golf story up until that point.
Right.
And then we'll get back to Angel Park and how you got back in a minute.
Right.
No, it's perfect. So let's go back to what are some of your favorite golf memories? Do you have one?
Yeah, probably the one really great memory I have was an assistant pro working at Desert Highlands in Scottsdale, Arizona. I got to play golf with Mac Davis, and he's obviously a guy from Lubbock and a hero kind of back in our day of somebody that became a superstar, but got to play with him and his son for 18 holes, and just a great guy, and learning a bunch of stories about how he grew up in Lubbock as a young kid too, and then also all of his songs that I told him I liked, and then the movies that he starred in and how he came up with different lines and all that kind of stuff. So
that's
anyway,
fun.
It was.
Yeah, I got to play with one of your heroes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it was really cool.
That's
being
neat.
from a native from Lubbock, Texas, of all places.
And what about least favorite memories? You have a time on the course you'd rather not think about?
Yeah, there are times. I think the one memory I have that's probably the worst is I really fell in love with the game when I was in 8th grade and was working at a golf course and playing a lot and had some golf pros there helping me out. And I went my sophomore year. I was playing basketball and wanted to play golf and went out to try out for the team. And I think I shot 98, and they were so. Like, what are you doing? Because I was shooting like low 80s and that kind of stuff, and so it was a big choke, and so came back the next year. But anyway, that was a sad day.
I quit golf because the first time I was the number one player on our team at Bonanza, I went out and fired 14 over or something. I was just so frustrated. Yeah, so I quit the game at that point, which is funny. So you're in the game at that point. Have you created a golf philosophy, or what has the game taught you throughout that time?
Yeah, no, really, that's a great question. Thanks for asking me that, because it has been as we develop our game, we also develop our attitudes behind it and things like that. One of my favorite things as I grew up, I read a book. It's called John Eldredge's book called Wild at Heart. And he talks about 3 components of what it is to be a man, and they are an adventure to live, a beauty to rescue, and a battle to fight. So it's a great read if anybody wants to read that, but I just applied that to golf in my later years as my game developed and things like that. Golf is so adventurous. It is just every day you go out on a windy day or a perfect day, your putting stroke works well, or you're hitting the ball good, or you can't hit a bunk, whatever. Every day is just ever changing, and it's so adventurous. So that was one of my loves that I found my philosophy of why I was like, why do I like this game so much? Why do I think about it all the time? And the other one is the idea of this battle to fight, that we're fighting a battle, and we never win at golf, right? Nobody wins. Golf always wins is another philosophy that I have. You have the champions like the Tigers and the Nicklauses that championed over it for a little while, but at the end of the day, golf wins in some way. So
nobody beats time.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that if you have that attitude of golf is going to win, and I'm just going to get a couple of shots in on it every now and then, or a round on it, or 3 rounds or 4 rounds, that's really fun. The beauty to rescue doesn't really fit in, but the other ones do. But golf's a beautiful game, so that's what
it really is.
So anyway, that has kind of been my philosophy, and it's just kind of what keeps me driving and ever having fun playing golf.
Well, let's talk a little bit about practicing, because I know just from watching you out here the last few months, you love to get out and hit some balls and work on your swing. And
again, it just goes to that adventure and tinkering and trying to figure out your game. So I use it as something to de-stress later in the afternoon, to just go out and either work on my swing and practice. I'm not pounding a bunch of golf balls and maybe playing a couple of holes, because again, that's where we want to get it, is out on the course and play a couple of holes. And then I get to see hey, what is my customer seeing when they're out there playing golf, of, hey, well, how's the grass look, how the greens look, and those kind of things. So yeah, drive around and hit some balls and find some open spaces. So if I cut in front of you, my fault. I didn't mean to.
That's fun. What about music? Favorite music? Do you like to listen to music on the course?
Growing up in Lubbock, I turned into a Texas folk singer kind of guy that I really like. So that's the kind of genre I listen to nowadays most of the time. I like all genres, but I don't really play anything on the course. It's usually somebody else in the group, but
old Texas folk, so like Jerry Jeff Walker, those guys.
Yep, Jerry Jeff Walker fan as a young man always, and saw him live a couple of times, and have all his albums. So
he just passed away in the last couple of years.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're losing them all these days.
Yeah, I know it. Sad times.
So let's jump forward then and get to how you got back into the game, because did you get back in through Troon, our corporate management company?
So basically, my career was. When I got through with college, a friend of mine offered me a job for $800 a month, which was big money back in a long time ago. Anyway, went to Boulder Country Club. So I was in Colorado at a couple of courses, then went to Arizona and got my PGA certification and those kind of things through those 2 clubs. And then went back to Austin, Texas, and worked there with being a head pro for the first time. So that was fun in the public golf realm. Then finished my career at another private course just north of Houston called Kingwood Country Club. So then I got out of the business for a little while.
Back out.
Married my wife, and she said, you don't need to, work these short hours and make all this money, So I went to, so anyway, no, it was, golf business is longer hours and maybe the pay isn't as good, but your love of the game and love of customers and those kind of things.
The culture.
Right. Exactly. That's what I was in love with. So got out of it and then got back into it about 6 years ago, back in with Troon, just because people I knew in the industry through the years, and got in with Troon and worked at Troon North for about 6 years.
Flagship company for our management company.
For our flag. So I learned and went through their leadership program and learned a lot about, more about in the golf business on the management side, and then managed a couple of 2 or 3 clubs these last 3 years, just moving around, helping the company as we brought some clubs on.
One of them in East Texas in the mountains called Pine Top Country Club, right?
Or East Arizona, yeah.
East Arizona.
Yeah. No, you're right. It was
I know
beautiful.
Pine Top, so that's why I asked.
Yeah, it was up in the mountains. We got to leave Phoenix in the middle of the summer and go enjoy some rain and cool weather. It was a great
nice
experience.
up there.
Yeah, it's a neat little spot.
We lived there. My father actually ran Pine Top Country Club years before you did, so that's kind of a funny
It's a
connection.
neat little gym
too.
up there if you ever get up there. Yep.
And then you ended up here, I want to say in August, July?
Yeah, I've been here 5 months. Part of the transition we're going through here is Angel Park is up for sale. The owners of the leasehold, which lasts another 20 years, is wanting to sell their interest in that leasehold. Somebody else is going to buy that leasehold.
Right. And real quick, to explain what that is, the Bureau of Land Management actually owns the land that Angel Park is on, and then it is leased to the city on a 50-year lease.
Correct.
So that's why it's kind of half municipal and a public golf course, even though it's privately owned. So that's how that works.
Correct.
And so you're just kind of in the process of the transformation.
Right, exact transitioning. And, like I say, just coming here and seeing what fun things happen at Angel Park all the time. With the putting course, with the driving range we have, with the fun golf course, it's challenging, but it's also got some easy, it's not super challenging. We just get a lot of play, and it's just got a fun culture and atmosphere that I love, on a 36-hole basis. So
a new perspective on golf, we like to say, because it is. We're trying to do that. So you've been here for about 4 or 5 months. What are your favorite things about Vegas golf?
I just playing in the desert here recently. I just like the feel, the mountains here, the scenery, the way it sits in. I just, I haven't got to venture out. I've played some other courses in this little Las Vegas area, but I like desert golf.
Desert golf.
Yes, good.
And you've got a couple of kids. Have you introduced them to the game?
Yeah, my oldest boy is 32 already, and he's played a little bit, but not that much. But the other one's in the golf industry and playing a lot, and him and I get to play together a lot.
That's fun.
And he's down in Arizona doing some caddying and stuff, so he has a good time there. Yep.
All right, well, that probably wraps up your golf story, unless you had anything you wanted to add. Do you have some fun stuff that you were thinking about at all that you wanted to share?
No, I think that's it. Yeah,
perfect.
Well, we kind of talked about, but
that brings us to the second half of the show then, which is our par 5. We're going to ask the same 5 questions to every guest, so the guests have a little bit idea of what's coming and see what the answers are and have some fun. So are you ready? We're going to hit the first shot. The first question is, what's your favorite golf movie?
Yeah, I have to go with in my generation, the Caddyshack. Yep.
That's everybody's choice.
Too many quips
so far.
And one-liners. It's the way to go.
Yep. Big fan. Big hitter, the llama.
Yeah, exactly. The dolly.
All right. So question number 2, the second shot. What's your favorite club in your bag and why?
No, I'm a hybrid guy. And just because in our generation, we grew up with 2 irons and 3 irons that were, for a skinny boy, is really hard to hit. Now I can hit them nice and high and hit a shot 215 yards nice and high. So I like practicing with my hybrids and hitting hybrids. So
what clubs do you play?
I'm a Titleist guy right now, but I can, for a large endorsement, I can be moved to the grass. Yeah, they all look the same to me.
He's taking offers, so
they all look the same to me.
Perfect. Shot number 3. The third question is, what's your dream foursome? So if you could play golf with anybody alive or dead, which 3 would you choose?
Yeah, I want to throw you a curveball there because I got a lot of thought in that. You think of the famous people you'd like to play with, but it all boiled down to me is I'd love for my father, who introduced me to the game, and we played a lot of golf together, me and my son, who I play golf a lot together, for those 3. And then maybe a future granddaughter or grandson that may be interested in the game. That would be a dream.
Future.
Yeah, so I'm going future on you. That's the
future
curveball.
Brookman. I love that. What a great answer.
Yeah, thank you. So anyway, that would be a fun day of golf.
That's really
4.
cool.
Yeah.
Question number 4. What's your aiming fluid of choice while you're playing golf?
Yeah, I'm mainly a beer guy, and maybe do 2 and 18 holes. If I go over that, I might be crazy. But over ice, just kind of as a refreshing drink, is just kind of my go-to. So
beer over crazy. Ice must be an old golf pro thing.
Yeah, I think so. It's just we like it watered down.
Yeah, I think my father said that it was for gas reasons, but I didn't believe him. I think it's just easier to drink in the desert.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's pretty fun. All right, that that brings us to question number 5. It's the last one, and it's also where our show is potentially no longer PG rated.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to have a little fun with this last one after that warning. When you're on the golf course and you're just really upset, really mad at yourself for a shot, what's your word or phrase, your go-to?
As I've transitioned through the game and become humbled by the game because it is so hard, I'm not a big cusser anymore, but when it does get very frustrating, it is a F-bomb, kind of used as an adjective of how sorry or bad that I really am as a person and a human being.
So the F-bomb is an adjective.
Yes,
I like that.
Yeah. Used in different descriptions.
That's great.
So, big nouns. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Sam, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to be here again next week, so please tune in. And until next time, hit them straight from your friends at Angel Park Golf Club.
Yep.
Cheers.
Cheers.